South Park just did an episode all about Ozempic. Let's talk about it.
It's a whole new era of medicine. A miracle, really. Young man, how would you like to not be fat anymore?
What is up, guys? It's Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, if you like this video, which I think you will, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, and comment your thoughts on this week's South Park episode down below. I've done a bunch of videos analyzing South Park, and I do other videos just analyzing pop culture and nerd culture, so check some of them out. All right, let's get into it. So the latest South Park special, The End of Obesity, is available now. I just watched it, so here are my thoughts. Of course, this is part of the South Park kind of extended deal with Paramount Plus. This is number 7. So far there has been South Park post-COVID, South Park post-COVID, The Return of COVID, South Park The Streaming Wars Parts 1 and 2, South Park Not Suitable for Children, and South Park Joining the Pandaverse. And all these specials follow the same format as the TV series. They're just usually much longer to kind of expand out and deal with certain trending subject matter in more detail than maybe just a 20-minute episode. And this latest one, The End of Obesity, is, as always, great cutting-edge satire about a current trending topic. Of course, that is South Park's forte. It is cultural satire at its finest, and here we talk about the rise of Ozempic, this wonder drug in weight loss. Ozempic has become all the rage recently, with lots of celebrities using it, or at least being speculated to have used it. And I guess the main problem with Ozempic is the fact that it kind of allows people to lose weight quickly without actually having to adjust their behaviors and without actually having to do any hard work like going for a run or going to the gym. And in this episode, all of the mums in South Park are taking Ozempic. They have very toned stomachs, showing off their midriffs, and Randy also wants to be involved with this.
Who's on Ozempic? Oh, Butter's mom, Craig's mom. A bunch of women use it to lose that last 5 pounds and show off their stomachs.
There's a few factors here, mainly the one that none of the mums are outwardly being honest about the fact that they are taking Ozempic. They're all kind of making up excuses like, I've been doing Pilates, I've been working out every day. And then they all kind of secretly know that they're actually just using the drugs, and they all kind of get together and use the drugs together in drug-fueled parties.
Welcome to the club, Randy. Which drugs are you on?
Oh, I'm on whatever. I brought a little appetizer for everybody.
I think this is the first issue that arises in the real world with Ozempic, is now it becomes unclear how celebrities are losing a lot of weight. There's all this gossip and rumors and speculation about how celebrities are shedding all these pounds very, very quickly, and people are too embarrassed essentially to admit that they're using Ozempic because they can already sense that backlash of like, well, you didn't earn it, you didn't do the exercise, you don't deserve to have lost the weight, I suppose. And I think it starts opening up this very interesting can of worms for our society, because I think everyone watching this video right now would agree that if you could just take a pill every day that makes you lock at a certain weight, no matter how much you eat, pretty much everyone would happily take that pill. I genuinely believe that. Honestly, I have a sweet tooth, and if I could eat anything I wanted without the risk of gaining more weight, I would very much like that option. So it's kind of this ethical point we're at where like a lot of people are using Ozempic because, of course, like if you have the money to buy these drugs, like why wouldn't you? But at the same time, there's still this cynicism and judgmental kind of attitude from people who can't afford Ozempic of like, well, of course you can just lose the weight because you have enough money to buy Ozempic and it's really easy, and the rest of us actually have to do hard work to lose weight. And I think as drugs like this become more commonplace in society, we are going to get to a point where these conflicts will become more prevalent, because the reality is that being obese and overweight is unhealthy and is not good for people, but a lot of people are obese and overweight. So if we as a society can do something really easily about that, like give everyone Ozempic, maybe that's ultimately a good thing for our society. And if everyone knows that everyone is doing Ozempic, it kind of removes that shame aspect to it, which kind of leads on to the next part of the episode, which is Cartman. Cartman, who is notoriously an overweight boy, sees Ozempic as like this answer to his woes of being overweight and obese.
There's these new medications that can treat obesity, but my mom can't afford them. I'm just a poor fat kid.
Poor little fat kid.
The only problem is that he can't afford the drugs, which really upsets him, and instead his doctor prescribes him Lizzo. Of course, referencing the singer Lizzo, who is notoriously body positive and undeniably obese. With the doctor pretty much explaining that body positivity is the only way if you can't afford the Ozempic. Of course, this disappoints Cartman a lot, and as Lizzo keeps getting prescribed to a lot of other people who can't afford Ozempic, they start getting this really terrible affliction where they diarrhea out of their ears.
Experiencing some side effects with your Lizzo?
Yes. Oh.
I guess this is a commentary on Lizzo's music, as well as maybe other accusations about her misconduct in the past. Basically just saying that Lizzo's music sucks and no one wants to listen to it. And there is so much more satire in this episode. It's kind of like a web of different areas of society that the creators of South Park are kind of poking fun at here and critiquing. But just before we continue, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. That would really help out the channel a lot. So Randy starts joining these neighborhood mothers in their drug-fueled Ozempic parties and toned bodies, whereas Kyle and Butters then try to get Cartman the Ozempic prescription he really, really wants and start to navigate the American healthcare system.
We're gonna navigate the American healthcare system. It's there for you and me.
Just fill out these forms.
This little parody song they do is really funny, sung by Butters, and just a lot of fun. Also just really sends up how bad the American healthcare system is. I live in Australia. We have really good healthcare. We have free public hospitals and Medicare and a lot of really good health benefits that I know in America they don't have. Plus, by navigating the American healthcare system, it essentially sends up like the bureaucracy and the politics involved, and how Kyle, Butters, and Cartman are just going back and forth between different specialists and doctors, kind of pushing the responsibility and blame onto each other and not really allowing them to get a prescription.
Yeah, you see, the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies all kind of work together. So all you have to do is navigate the American healthcare system.
This frustration leads to them deciding to make their own Ozempic, which they start using on Cartman, who, by the way, only really wants to lose the weight so he can say whatever he wants to anyone and they aren't able to come up with a comeback because he's just a normal white guy.
Pal, guess what? You're a totally ugly ginger and your religion is fucking bullshit!
Oh yeah? Well, damn it!
Yeah!
I think that is feeding into our insecurities and how we actually feel like there is a way to look and there is a way to be for people to like you, and thinner, more attractive people tend to be treated better and with more respect, and people are much warmer to them than overweight people, which I guess is a sad reality about our society. And what ends up happening in South Park, because of all of these mums' addiction to Ozempic and doctors becoming less and less willing to prescribe it to people who don't have an actual medical need for it, there is a shortage of Ozempic, which leads these mothers, like addicts, to start robbing chemists and basically becoming criminals in order to get their drugs, kind of like heroin addicts or other drug addicts. Like, they are so addicted to this drug and what it allows their bodies to look like, and thus how they feel about themselves, that they need to now commit crimes in order to continue taking this drug.
Nobody move! This is a holdup! Stay calm and nobody gets hurt!
Keep your hands up.
This will all be over soon.
Go make sure the back doors are locked.
Okay.
This is such a crazy kind of reflection of the USA, of drug culture, of addiction, and like, I guess what could theoretically happen if people become addicted to these drugs, like, not necessarily that the drugs are even addictive, but just addicted to the way it makes them feel and the way that their bodies look once they take the drugs. I should also point out that this episode also contains a Kenny death, which are now few and far between, so that was a little great callback to the earlier days of South Park, and I really miss them.
killed Kenny!
The other thread that comes up as well is like the cereal industry and the breakfast industry are upset that now sales for sugary cereals and sugary products are down. Because everyone's appetites are being suppressed by Ozempic, they no longer really have the cravings to eat sugary or high-fat meals, thus those profits are falling, and then basically these sugar cereal companies are trying to stop Ozempic from being made. And I guess to a company that specializes in sugary foods, your worst enemy is a wonder weight loss drug like Ozempic. And I can totally see how people would be worrying about this in terms of meeting bottom lines and making money. Which of course leads to the hilarious scene of all the cereal mascots from the US kind of chasing down Randy and the boys who have all the Ozempic. I think this episode does ask a lot of questions of what the future could look like with these drugs becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, these drugs aren't designed or aren't supposed to really be for everyday people to just lose weight easily. These drugs are for people who medically need it, like diabetic people and, other conditions like that. So I'm very curious about what a future looks like when weight loss is as easy as taking a pill and you no longer actually have to change your habits and change your lifestyle in order to lose weight. And on a personal note, when I do think about people doing that and when I see celebrities in real life or even Australian celebrities who are losing lots of weight and it's obvious they're using Ozempic, I've got to admit that I do have that reaction of you didn't earn it, you don't deserve to have lost weight or whatever. Those kind of thoughts come into my mind. But then again, as I said at the start of the video, I know I would take the pill if it was readily available and could just guarantee I stay like a slim weight and I can eat whatever I want. So maybe I'm a little bit hypocritical there. Overall, I thought it was a really good episode, another great satirical kind of reflection of society from South Park, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny and very on point, and as always, gets you thinking, gets you analyzing, gets your thoughts moving, and it makes me not very excited about what the future could look like. So there's that. Okay, that was my review of the new South Park special, The End of Obesity. Leave your comments below. What do you think about Ozempic? What did you think about the episode? What do you want to see them tackle next? Leave them thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. There is a whole playlist of South Park analysis that I've done over the years, so that all of those videos are there for you to watch right now, or add them to your watch later playlist, or whatever you want to do. Plus, all bunch of other pop culture-esque videos. I recently did one on the Simpsons episode where Larry the barfly dies. Spoilers. Plus, you can support me on Patreon. Thanks to all my Patreons so far. It's great having your support and having a bit of money coming into this channel as well. Also, my podcast, 20th Century Boy, it could be on that side, it could be on that side, I don't know. But listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts, or just on this channel. Hey guys, that's it from me. My name is Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind. I'll catch you in another video. See you later.